This is really, really fucked up. Excuse me that I use this language. It's disturbing when you transfer 20 files. 20 files, the most sensitive for the police do not appear transferred on your laptop, and in fact, you have deleted them from internal Android storage device, thinking that they did transfer it onto a laptop, onto a hard drive. This is really, really fucked up. That kind of stuff would disbalance anybody. No, there is another video here that dates to the 15, and that's this video here. This is the one right there. Also does not appear absolutely anywhere, anywhere on the laptop. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this to, this is now charging, and I'm going to do this to the transfer. I'm just a little bit in disbelief that the control they have over these Android devices. You can so easily actually deplete your own video files which you have obtained. That is unbelievable. It's disturbing, literally. This is the file that I did just transfer right now, and there is another file here that you see that I have to transfer the dates to the 15 from the SD card, where however I did a resort to protect myself from deleting these files. I was bright enough to do this. If I wouldn't have done this, and it would be exactly according to MKUltra scenario. They involved tremendously a lot of anxiety in this shit. Tremendously a lot of anxiety. And this is just 506. This is the one here. This is just, actually it's this one here. This is the one, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna rename this stuff like this just to get the number, and we're gonna go here to transfer on a hard drive, and we'll do a little search to see whether this file somehow did transfer itself. Anxiety, you're gonna see it's all about anxiety issues. They involve tremendous amount of anxiety. No, file did not transfer, but thanks God I did transfer one to the SD card before I transferred these files to the laptop. Totally fucked up. Totally fucked up. How dangerous. I have not even thought about this would happen to me, because it's so much shit that goes on. There's just so much stuff that goes on. They do it in such a way that disrupts person involving so many issues into it. So what I'm gonna do this time, I ain't gonna be doing that. I gotta see if this is actually gonna work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna copy this file. The file I'm gonna go ahead and transfer now is this one here. This time I'm not going to transfer one through the computer. I'm going to transfer one from the SD card. From the SD card, I'm going to transfer one to internal device and internal memory by the Android itself, to see if what's going to happen then. And I'm going to unplug this thing. I'm going to unplug one out to see basically what's gonna happen here, whether it's gonna, it doesn't give me a chance, okay, because I probably did that, to see if next time when I'm gonna connect this stuff to see if next time when I connect this to the laptop, eventually it's gonna appear as an internal piece. It is gonna appear as an internal file that can be potentially transferred to the laptop. That's why I'm gonna do this, because I want to know what the hell goes on. Okay, so now the file is right there, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna connect this thing here. Identical shit to Brežice, identical stuff to Brežice. Completely identical stuff to Brežice. Hey, you can see that flashing right there. You can see this stuff flashing. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and change this to transfer files. We have this option now, and we're gonna go transfer files, and let's see what's gonna happen. Now I'm gonna disappear from your screen a little bit so that you can see what's going on here with this stuff here. As a matter of fact, you know what? I don't actually even have to disappear anywhere. I can reduce myself into something like this and remain here with you. I have not thought about that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna check this out. I'm gonna go to the internal memory, and before I'm gonna go ahead and do this here, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna copy something like this so that I get the opportunity to see whether it's gonna detect this file, which I have just transferred back from a external card into internal memory. It always saves them to internal memory. Oh, the damn file is now here. It's here. It disappeared. So this is so professionally, this stuff is so professionally done that this is really unbelievable. It's the file is now here, but what I'm trying to say is this stuff is so professionally done that once you detect the file did not transfer to the laptop, it won't give you a trouble. It won't give you a hassle. You will be, once you detect one on whatever device, it becomes like a normal file. For the IT people, hello? Hello? If you don't understand what I am referring to, you gotta look at the files. What I demonstrated to you have happened to me upon return from Brežice just recently. And that's exactly what I'm aiming at. This is very, very bad hack. This is the hack that, let me demonstrate to you. This is a hack that that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this here, this stuff here. Okay? Please, for the IT people, see this video what I demonstrate you. This is kind of a continuation about the files, about how this Androids are hacked. I got to inform you that once you detect the file, the system will no longer will have a problem with that file. You will be able to detect one if you transfer one back to internal memory without any problem. This is so fucked up. So twisted shit. But if you want to see exactly what I am talking about, Android hacking by the police, then you watch these videos here about Android hacking by the police. How you cannot see the file, how it appears like the file does not exist. And it actually exists. And this is just out of 50 files, you're going to have only certain files that are sensitive to the police. In this case, this is the individual who is involved also in this case. This case, okay, let me explain to you something. This case is related to what was referred to me is going to be a potential to fuck me up through garage. Not garage sale, but through literally dumping stuff on a street, like in a dumpster, somewhere where you walk. It's not somewhere where you walk. This man was involved in this MK Ultra case, and you're gonna see the connection not only with the police but with other people I'm talking about in respect to this guy. But this is, you know, when I talk about the anxiety and stuff like this. Okay, this is what this shit is. This is how you're driven with this stuff. For this stuff, I was told, if you're gonna appear before you put this stuff online, you can have a trouble. You can actually end up in jail. And a police director, this individual here, this individual here, police director, this is the criminal that tortured for no less than 28 years and had other people to torture. This guy here. This individual here. Yana Zogulin, this guy here that you see. He threatened me with a jail that's going to set me up. It's just going to be a setup. They first, what I'm going to tell you about this video, I found myself under MK Ultra, drugged up. We gotta start this video somewhere. Okay, so that's what we're gonna start. We're gonna start this somewhere. Let's do it just here. Simple. This is our residence here, and I am referring to this location here. Word is about Church of Saint Mary's Nativity at the top of the Trška Gora, and this is the road where you go. There is this gentleman who was involved on MK Ultra and who dumped this stuff just as he promised he would do to this area here, right next to these dumpsters here. And it was referred to me by police investigators. The investigator I visited the other day, to me, is like a sort of treasure. Upon return from Poland, we're going to give you a treasure. It was all the time about the treasure, how it's going to be the treasure. And drugged up as I was, treasure, what the fuck treasure, what kind of treasure? And the next thing you see, it's like this on a bright summer day. At like 12 o'clock, I see the police officer, another police officer going through this stuff here. Exactly the stuff you're about to see. That was dumped by this gentleman here, by this guy here, involved in MK Ultra since 1995, before he actually moved down here. Police director, about the guy you have seen, Yana Zogulin from Novo mesto, police director. That is going to be a treasure. That's going to be a treasure. That's going to be given treasure. That he's going to do that for me. A police officer advertising me the stuff that I should pay attention to and pick up and take it home. Now you're talking about the fire extinguishers. You're talking about it's going to be a bicycle that was sold to me like the one in Poland. Like the one in Poland. It's not like the one in Poland, but it closely reminded a bicycle which a librarian from Grodniki in Poland borrowed to me. Her husband Peter and she did. But that's not the bike. But once I saw this as I was going right through here on the 15 in the late night hours, actually late night hours, evening hours, once I saw this, I decided to actually, yeah, I didn't decide anything. The only thing I did was I saw this placed right here next to this trash bins, and I said to myself, and it's exactly what this owner here stated. This guy stated that he will do it, that he'll get rid of it, that he's going to get rid of it. Instead I proceeded up there, and I did go and I exercised back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then once I was done, I went by, and just out of curiosity as I came past this here, I look at that, and was interested in seeing that bicycle from a little closer. Got my curiosity enough to pay attention to it, and the only thing that happened was I saw a few decent steel parts on one, and I said to myself, hey man, we can get some spare parts from this bicycle if nothing else. It's really nothing, really nothing much, but I can get this. And so what I did was, eventually, since this stuff is here, I did go ahead and that's exactly what it was, exactly what you see here.
So I decided I'm going to take this bike with me. This was here.
Half midnight is where I left. This was dumped right next to this dumpster here. See? Loaded with a dumpster, with the garbage, and right next to this there was some stuff, such as, you know, you were able to see all kinds of stuff. But it was this bicycle that got my interest. Maybe because of this buoyant here that you see
for the parts
at night that you can use when you go to walk, sure. And it's got new brakes, and you got some fenders and stuff like this, that stuff that I can use on my bicycle, because I have a bicycle, but still this was stuff that I can throw on my bike, you know.
Here.
This is like all this stuff here that was dumped. Okay, so this was on October the 15th, 2022. It's 23:34 hours. Okay, so I pick up this stuff and I take it. According to police officers, this is going to be worth at like 3,000 euros. I don't know if this would be worth 3,000 euros, but I know that this stuff is now mine. Nobody's going to get this back.
For the parts.
This bicycle was thrown behind this trash bins right next to that garbage that you have seen. So what happened was, the next day I came to pick it up.
Okay, so October the 16th, 2022.
And I loaded.
This was actually prepared by the director of the police, this stuff. A little throwaway that you see right here. That's what we prepared.
Look at that. Nice fire extinguishers. They expired about 6 years ago. I got a nice suitcase right there. I got stuff myself for spraying the garden. I'm going to be able to spray the garden. Then I have, yeah, all kinds of stuff. A little bit of everything I have. Check this out. Beautiful.
The owner, this is the man from here. Who was involved in MK Ultra since '95. Well, and his son. He said the day when you will, it's a bicycle right there too, when you will come to pick up the stuff, I'll take a trip. The truth is, he told me, he confessed later, he's going to be actually video recording this stuff. So, but I am video recording this stuff too. It's not bad at all. So I think there will be a lot of stuff I'll be capable to use still. So, thank you. Cool. Something about fire extinguishers.
Yeah,
that I might actually even have to return them. I don't know anything about that stuff. They talked about something that's very expensive to get rid of something. It could be exactly fire extinguishers. But very nice, very cool.
That's
nice
the
little
company.
day in
It's right in front of
October.
the company. This stuff is located right in front of the company. What I'm going to say to you, I got this vape here. This is very nice too. Check this out. For the people that like old stuff in a little bit, I'm gonna get to this. I'm gonna be a little bit more detailed. But this is like really old-fashioned, and I like old things for one thing. But really, what's good about this stuff is it that police knows when to make certain files disappear. Now, when I told you this is very sensitive for the police, this is shit, hell yes, very sensitive for the police. When they try to set somebody up like this. Oh, this you're never going to see back. Because why? Let me explain to you what's going on here with this stuff. There is some other stuff I have too that I had done. There were people all over the place. No, that was not a theft. That was just a garbage pickup, basically. That's all it was, and it's all documented, as you see. But what's going on with this stuff here? Okay, so I found myself. If I repeat this video to you one more time, I think it's important. This was at 1300 hours the next day, and I appeared right in front of his house. Why did I appear in front of his house? I appeared in front of his house to let him know that I'm taking this stuff with me. Because I want to make sure that he's cool with this stuff. It still mattered to me. Now it doesn't matter to me anymore.
Okay, so October the 16th, 2022. This was actually prepared by the director of the police, this stuff. A little throwaway that you see right here, that's what we prepared. The owner, this is the man from here, who was involved in MK Ultra since '95. Well, and his son. He said the day when you will, it's a bicycle right there too. When you will come to pick up the stuff,
spray
I'll take a trip. The truth is, he told me, he confessed later, he's going to be actually video recording this stuff. So, good, I am video recording this stuff too. It's not bad at all. So I think there will be a lot of stuff I'll be capable to use still. So, thank you. Cool. Something about the fire extinguishers.
It's actually something about the stuff that I held in my hands too. That's an interesting one. That's a very interesting one.
That I might actually even have to return.
Fire station was involved in it too.
They talked about something that's very expensive to get rid of something. It could be exactly fire extinguishers.
Yeah.
But very nice, very cool.
And right in front of the company, very nice too. Okay. Basically, I am gonna stop doing this vape now here. This item here, this is what the owner who threw this in a dumpster told me. This is what's gonna bring me to you. That he's gonna see this, and this is what he's gonna be watching my movies, and that this is it. This is, I have no idea, this is maybe to melt the pepper or something like this, but it's very nice. It's very heavy too. I don't know what is this here. Is it copper? What is it? I gotta see what kind of material this is made. But this is like, know, this is like a half a kilo heavy. And it's beautiful, it's kind of nice. They don't make it like this anymore. In a little bit I'm gonna get back to this stuff, but now let's see this video. This is more exciting. Okay, so this one was video recorded today. I got all this.
This is thoroughly washed, thoroughly done, thoroughly done, thoroughly done. For this one, actually, the owner told me, he stated to me, this item is going to be actually all you have to do is wash it, and it's going to be like new. It's actually not completely, but I did wash this several times. Also used the baking soda to kill mold, and interesting enough, the citrona, which is the best that's used to kill the mold, disappeared to me from a drawer. They knew exactly what I'm gonna do in respect to washing alone of these items, which I have picked it up on a little junkyard behind a house of this individual, who, by the way,
now it gets twisted.
oh, this is my room here that you see.
Room where I'm at right now.
And this here, this is the neighbor's house, where Milan Kučan was inside while this individual who left me these things was inside of my room. He did the mental, physical torture for Milan Kučan. He was inside of this house at Berger's and would let me know, because when those sessions, the torture sessions, would end, they would bring me here and he would go down. This is no way it could be a replica of Milan Kučan. This guy here, his wife frequently would go to Belgrade. Actually, this guy was oftentimes in Belgrade. She would go here and there also to Belgrade. Both are lawyers. This guy was actually rated Berger family. This is a Berger residence, to be fit even to become a Yugoslav president. You know, this is what I'm talking about. So when the torture sessions would end, I would be walked down here. Actually, Milan Kučan would walk down here. They would bring me right here in the house, and Milan Kučan would tell me in the face, he was in my head. That he was in my head. That he was just in my head. If I realized that he was in my head. And that stuff repeated and repeated. What exactly did Milan Kučan meant when he stated to me that he was inside of my head? What exactly was this shit all about?
Well, welcome to my room, where you will find out what exactly Milan Kučan meant when he stated that he was in my head. What this got to do with, let's say, this. Well, this could trigger a police visit, stuff like this. Right here in the back, it says made in Yugoslavia. Oh, maybe I'm gonna take a photo or something like that and I'll post it right there. Yugoslavia, that was a greater Chetnik Serbian state. That was Yugoslavia. What exactly did Milan Kučan meant that he was inside of my head? Okay, let me demonstrate you what exactly Mr. Milan Kučan meant. He was inside of my head. Oh, the police officers, they were selling me stuff on that MK Ultra on several occasions, and it disappeared. Every one of them claimed that took treasure to their homes, that this is worth 3,000 euros, whatever. The stuff that you have seen right now, they were cleaning, not this one. Not this stuff here. Not this.
Well,
they had items that I have seen
thoroughly done.
with my own eyes would fall apart when they would clean them, because they claimed, police officers claimed, they cleaned too much. They kept it in the water too much, and it disintegrated and stuff like this. It was all kinds of bullshit that went on right here in front of our house. And these are actually the real items that, or whatever items, replicas that owner have displayed next to those trash bins so I could bring them home, which I did. And I'm thankful for it. Thankful. Nice. Very nice. Now, let's go to the issue about what I stated to you. Milan Kučan in my head. Now, that's interesting. That's interesting. Now you know where I got this. The owner not likely is gonna come with the police on a visit to me. But I'm gonna stop by and see one. If nothing else, to laugh like a rabbit when passing next to his home. But here, listen, this is what's really when things get interesting. Is this here how I lost 28 years of life? And I'm talking about here about the Croatian state, which, by the way, it's not the end of it. There is more to tell about the Croatian state. Okay, in the video, and I made bloody sure that I also posted here right on the bottom something that some people during MK Ultra disagreed I shouldn't mention. When I was dragged to Croatia in 95, in 96, in 97, 98, I have openly, if I did not state it here, but I'm going to repeat to you in this video here. In this video, if you're going to watch one about a Croatian state, Croatia is a neighboring state of Slovenia. They're just few miles from where I am, on the border, basically. I have anticipated I'm gonna eventually manage to kill Milan Kučan, Borut Pahor. When I was brought to Croatia, hijacked to Croatia, my task, my ultimate goal would be eventually to murder, to kill. And if I had a chance, trust me, I wouldn't even think twice about killing this guy. You see this guy here? This is Milan Kučan, is his name. I wouldn't even think twice. Not once I would think about what to do with one. You see this guy here? I would kill one on a heartbeat. You see this guy here? If I only had opportunity, I would kill one on a heartbeat. I was about 23, 24, 25 years old. Never thought about killing a single person. But nobody could do anything to me if I would get killed, both of them. What something I was hoping for, something I lived for under MK Ultra. Because Croatia was in war with Serbia. Me killing Milan Kučan or Borut Pahor in Croatia would only give me a medal on the chest. That's the only thing I would do. From the international society, the only thing they could do at the United Nations, they would bring me to the United Nations to the room, and they would give me a nice little medal for killing Milan Kučan and Borut Pahor. How many people can say this? Well, I think I'm the only person who have stated something that nobody legally can do too, but who will hunt to the bitter end Milan Kučan and Borut Pahor and Tanja Fajon until I fucking get you to the Hague on International Tribunal for the war crimes. I will not fucking let you go. This is no fucking way. These people, for me to state kill, tortured me here inside of this home in a most inhumane, with the people from the village they involve also, with the people from the police, in a most inhumane possible way, to the degree that Americans agreed that if I manage to get somehow near Milan Kučan when drugged up, brought to Croatia in 95, in 96, in 97, 98, or Borut Pahor, I have complete right, authorization to go for whatever I can get out of it. That's what Croats were afraid of. Croats claimed that that was worse than anybody in Croatia. No, that's not true. I was drugged up, I was tortured in Slovenia, mercilessly, physically, psychologically, butchered. And knowing, acknowledging, by just observing me about what went on here inside of this residence, what went on with the Slovenia, what these people are doing with me, have given me authorization, have given me the right to, if I ever have a chance in Croatia, that I can do the job, whatever I want. I will not be charged with absolutely any crime, absolutely anything at all. Wherever I can in Croatia, if I come across these two people, it's completely in my hands. In Slovenia, that was an impossible task, because in Slovenia, Milan Kučan, during his torture, during his prison, had so many people around, mostly which were police officers, holding me like this for the throat, drugged up, that it would be no fucking way I possibly could even contemplate on a task like that. But in my head was a plan that if which they did, they started to walk to Croatia. Milan Kučan didn't dare to go to Croatia. I told you, remember when I told you that Milan Kučan didn't have a balls to go to walk inside of the Croatia in 95? That finally he, sometimes in 96, he appeared with Borut Pahor and with the police and I don't know what, in Zagreb somewhere and stuff, during what they started to, with Vladimir Putin, with his politicians, Franja Tuđman, with the Serbian politicians. They started together on location, also in Zagreb, in main Croatian city, away from the public eye. Few people in Croatia knew about that stuff. Top Croatian government knew about this stuff. And I didn't want to go to Croatia anymore because of the stuff they did to me already there, that it started. The way the trip to Croatia started was just by me going, having a police going right in front of me, talking to the locals, and then presenting me whatever they would find somebody willing to get in fight with me or whatever, trouble, throwing me right there so they would create, amplify trouble. A neighbor here, Metod Jerman, police officer, was one of the people that started this kind of crime toward Croatia already in 1995. He was the one, he would go talk to people. Wherever he would find somebody that he would be willing to get into the fight with me, I was drugged up. And he injected one, they injected one in this MK Ultra hiking, and it would be a problem, and this problem other people would observe, and then this problems would just amplify. This is the police technique that I learned from the police of Novo Mesto, how they were doing this kind of stuff. It's a neighbor here. Metot Yerman is his name. And so I was told, because I didn't want to go to Croatia anymore. I didn't want to go, no matter what, by Americans. They told me, but in Croatia, you can get him just so they could get me going. But it was bullshit. In Croatia, Milan Kučan and Borut Pahor also had a heavy police presence. Bodyguards, police, protected. And basically I was spit on. And Mr. Plenković eventually, sometimes in 98, started to acknowledge me as violent. That is a violent thug, Croatian prime minister, real thug. Going from, oh, take it easy, take it easy. We need these people now. We need these international people. Just keep low. Just keep. Don't get excited. Don't get excited. Let it be. Let it be. We need this. We need this. We just play along. Just play along so that we keep them. So we get things going. All the way to acknowledging me for a violent thug in '98, giving UDBA killers from Novo Mesto, such as Ogulin, now director of the police station in Novo Mesto, support to acknowledge me as a violent thug, expressing complete disconcern about my well-being here in the city of the Novo Mesto in Slovenia, whenever hijacked from United States of America. But smart enough to remind me in 2001 and 2002 about the people here from the village, from this village here, Krka village, about the stuff they were doing. Everybody knew about what the fuck went on. Croats knew about the violence here in this village more than anybody, just as much as the Serbs did. It was not a secret about the crime these village people here performed on me. Yugoslavia was a greater Serbian Chetnik state. Remember when I told you about Yugoslavia, what Yugoslavia was? Yugoslavia was a prison located on the Balkans, prison of the nations, a concentration camp, Serbian concentration camp for other nations, which goal was to exterminate its people and create greater Serbia, big Serbia, smaller Russia on the Balkans. I'm helping Serbia, by the way, giving a free commercial as Russia-wise. And so what the hell was this shit about Milan Kučan getting in my head? But this guy, this is like appear like a blonde guy, blue eye, not blonde, but semi-blonde, tall guy, Slovenian guy, Slovenian, taller than myself, strong build, somebody I would eventually accept. Come on, when I say accept, what the fuck is this accept? I mean, there is no such thing as accept here, in this case. Because there was no accept here. The only one who was making decisions was a Milan Kučan and Borut Pahor, a Tanja Fajon. About basically with the beatings, with the performing torture, violence on me. Unimaginable. Try to imagine yourself being brought, let's say about 10,000 times on a brink of sanity, basically pushed into oblivion, in a complete insanity, for you not to recognize not your mother, not your father, not your sister, when you are drugged up, beaten up in such a way that you wouldn't know anymore, that you wouldn't recognize people, that this was my situation in Slovenia from house to house, in front of the partisan memorials. I don't want to say about I would tolerate, would not tolerate, because this is what Milan Kučan created. I'm his creation. That's why Hague. That's why War Tribunal. I don't give a fuck about Croatia. Croatia did whatever Croatia did. Croatia wasted my life, just exactly the way I have described it. That's exactly what I explained, pointed out. It was nothing other than knife in the back. All the actors in Croatia, the entire film industry, entire entertainment industry was involved. Croatian industry was involved in this shit. Every city in Croatia, in 2011 maybe, something like this, British dumped them. They were asking them to help me out to bring this case to the end. And in Zagreb, it was for many years, it was nothing but beatings that went on. From one location to the other. The only thing these people would be doing, they would grabbing the money to themselves. Croats, I'm talking about the Croat artists, film, musicians, and so on. That's the only thing it was. The only thing they were doing, Croats, they were amplifying the lie. From one side, the Russians, Serbs. From the other side, a German ally, a NATO ally, Croatia. You couldn't fuck yourself more. On either way you would go. But Croatia was in war in 95, and in 96, and in 97, and 98. In 99, it ended in 2000. And that's why Croatia itself committed. It's an interesting, I don't know how you would properly classify this kind of crime. I was obviously on a Croatian side. But, you know, I don't know how you would classify this kind of crime. Milan Kučan was the man who would give anything in this world to take Croatia down. Borut Pahor too, Tanja Fajon too, the so-called ex-Yugoslav communists were worse, actually, than the Chetniks inside of the Belgrade. They were worse. They shipped weaponry to the Bosnia for the war, for the Serbian war against the Croats and against the Bosnian people. But this is just what it is. That's all there is. That's why Slovenian guy, because Milan Kučan, not because I wouldn't tolerate one, because the way he looked. That's a bullshit. That's a nonsense. What the hell would I have against his looks or against his wife's looks? Other than whatever pertained to his behavior, his attitude? Yeah, that was a different thing. That was a different thing. That was a completely different story. If somebody is involving in a severe torture against you and you're contemplating to kill one, which is what I'm saying right now, to kill one is bullshit. This is insane stuff. It's craziness. In real life, I never ever contemplating killing anybody in my lifetime. That's why I acknowledge this as a craziness. I lived in the United States, I lived in other countries, and many other all over the world without any fucking crime record. Never think about killing a single person, despite the torture, you understand? But under MK Ultra, Milan Kučan created in me a personality that was actually willing to actually go and kill somebody, like with a task. Like just on a first opportunity you would have to grab one, you would, and you would just terminate one, basically. Do whatever, as much damage you possibly could have. For me, for my personality, was just something unimaginable. Unimaginable. I was pursuing a police career in the United States. Never had any kind of delusion, any kind of fantasy, because this is what I refer to as a fantasy. I refer to this as a fantasy. If somebody is contemplating on doing this to somebody for whatever reason, without having a real cause for that stuff that would actually be justified by the law, by the courts, that's a craziness. That's a lunacy. It never existed in me, not even a little part. I don't have a difficulty, therefore, to state what I stated. Something I was told by many, don't even go and talk about that kind of stuff. No, I do want to talk about this kind of stuff because it actually demonstrates the degree of violence performed on me and what these people have created out of me under MK Ultra. That was a part of my personality under MK Ultra, ladies and gentlemen. That was what Milan Kučan created. That was his creation. So who was this guy, this blue-eyed guy also that prepared all this stuff and so on? If we go back to Milan Kučan getting in my head, he would have me inside in this room of mine, play with a computer in front of me, but not in 95 or 2000 or... He started to do this kind of stuff sometimes in 2005, 2004. They started with this kind of treasure, with this kind of stuff that they're gonna do. Treasure, they figure out at a later point, maybe sometimes in around 2010, 2011 is when the treasure came. But this guy would sit here inside and would just ask the most idiotic, stupid stuff you possibly can imagine. Fascinating idiotism of the fascinating idiot. And I'm not talking about him. The questions this guy would ask me, this is Yugoslavia here, it says, would be like, why you don't like this, why you don't like that, and why you don't like this, and why you don't like that, and why you don't like that, and you would go days without fucking sleep. And you would have a guy, you would be sitting next to one, and you couldn't find the fucking answer, so you would just make up the fucking answers, you know? So that you would hope you would have a peace. This is not interrogation. This is torture. One thing is interrogation to get the information from the person, and another one is to annoy, bother, disturb, trouble, disallow individual to rest, disallow to... You understand? You just keep him awake and just go in his face and you fucking ask questions that make no fucking sense. After he already gives you 50 crazy fucking answers that nobody would possibly even consider as an answer. Yeah, he's not fucking done. He won the 51 and 52 and 53, whatever answer, on the same shit. He had a Bluetooth in his ears. He had a Bluetooth technology which he interacted with the Milan Kučan, who was staying at the next door at the Miroslav Berger's residence. This is where they hosted this motherfucker. This is where they hosted them. They wouldn't bring them here no more. Because my personality was in such a way designed under MK Ultra that when I would see the Milan Kučan, just see one, I would just jumpstart. What they refer to me, Miroslav Berger referred to me like a German shepherd. You are a German shepherd. Repeat after me, bark. Inside of his garage. This guy was a lunatic. This guy was a maniac. And I actually have a people who will confirm, stated here. The stuff that he had done, that people have observed, the people have a knowledge, which is beyond barbaric. This is a beast. This is a lawyer, it's an attorney, it looks good, it's sharp, it's shaved, he dresses well, drives nice car, is polite when you talk. But inside of this is imbecile. So he had this guy, Lily was using this guy for what I stated to you. Obviously, there will be no police visit in respect to these items here, for which, by the way, this one here, I was told it's worth like, the individual who rated this item was actually Alexander Vucic, who stated that this is what we're gonna buy from you. You're gonna put this on eBay, and we're gonna buy this from you. This is gonna be worth it. I don't know. He said 300-400 pounds or something like pounds, euros or whatever. The guy who put this on like on a garage sale, kind of, not really garage sale, but who threw this next to these trash bins, however, claimed, you're going to keep this because it's in Yugoslavia, You're going to have one memory on a Yugoslavia, and you're going to have one memory on a Yugoslavia. Okay, so this is going to be my memory on Yugoslavia. I don't think anybody's going to like this memory in Yugoslavia, because this is the way I interpreted it about what took place, and that's exactly what took place. Milan Kučan started to use the Bluetooth technology. They started to use the Bluetooth technology sometime since 2004 because of what I stated, because I was rated as a German Shepherd, because I was rated as somebody that as soon as I would see one, I would just go straight into one, which was not always the case. That was not always the case, because I was inside of his home. I met his daughters, his son, his private settings, and so on. So that obviously was not always the case. However, at times that was the case. Whatever they have done to me under the fucking MK Ultra. So, no, this is actually important for me. I don't think that you can take actually person to Hague, that you can take person to International Criminal Tribunal, War Crime Tribunal, if you don't actually express yourself about what exactly went on, what exactly the situation was in respect to all this stuff. I think this is probably the strongest proof, one of the strongest things I'm going to use against Milan Kučan in respect to his crimes. This individual who claimed, he claimed Slovenia has to wait for the end of the war with Croatia to see, he found absolutely every possible excuse to not assist Croatia militarily during its war for existence. And, when I say this stuff about weaponry smuggled to Bosnian Serbs by Slovenian logistics, by Slovenian trucking companies, this is just incredible stuff is what this is. Fire extinguishers too. I got a bicycle already. Took some part from it. It's gonna be good for the parts, whatever. Maybe even to fix one. It's an old bike. But more than anything, it brought the memory about Milan Kučan in my head. it lightened up the memory about what went on with the Berger residence, what kind of neighbors what this shit was all about, what the hell this thing went on, about how this stuff already, when he was gone, when they already squared him out of the picture, and that motherfucker was still in a neighborhood, not in this residence, but still found his way to get in my head. So that's all I want to say. Today is October the 21st, 2022, and things aren't looking any easier for Milan Kučan, Borut Pahor. It's just getting worse and worse. They destroyed 28 years of life. They eventually threw me inside a psychiatric hospital, institutionalized me, create international, whatever you want to call this menace, in a war against Aryan race. That's a post-World War II Germany, Britain, United States, NATO member states, and Italy, and France, and everything else that exists in the Western world. Thanks for watching this video. Till next time.
And so I decided I'm gonna take this bike with me. This was here with the trash. I figure out this would be okay for the parts. Okay, so October the 16th, 2022. This was actually prepared by the director of the police, this stuff. A little throwaway that you see right here, that's what we prepared. The owner, this is the man from here, here who was involved in MK Ultra since '95. Well, and his son. He said the day when you will, it's a bicycle right there too, when you will come to pick up the stuff, I'll take a trip. The truth is, he told me, he confessed later, he's gonna be actually video recording this stuff. So good, I am video recording this stuff too. It's not bad at all. So I think there will be a lot of stuff I'll be capable to use still. So thank you. Cool. Something about the fire extinguishers that I might actually even have to return them. I don't know anything about that stuff. They talked about something that's very expensive to get rid of something. It could be exactly fire extinguishers. But very nice, very cool. Nice little day in October.